intro, right? I was going, and then I looked up and I realized I wasn't on yet. That's the professionalism you come to expect. Hello. I mean, listen, it can only go uphill from here. Look at it that way. It can't get any bloody worse. I hope you're well. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. I hope things are going better for you there for me. Hello, how are you? So I made myself laugh. I'm sorry, I just got transfixed. I was caught staring at Nurse Chapel's cleavage. What can you do? Although I had to tell you, let me pull up that thumbnail. I had to labor long and hard to get a sexy picture of Nurse Bloody Chapel, which kind of annoys me because she's a very sexy woman. What's her name again? Jess. Oh, what is her bloody name? Hang on. Let me pull up that thumbnail. I had to label her like way too long and hard, right? To get a sexy, welcoming picture. I'll tell you. I'll tell you though. I think we are at the darkness before the dawn right now. You know, I think the scales are turning. Right. You know, there's a bit when you're on a fulcrum, right, and it's going, and suddenly it starts to get carried over by its own momentum. We're just there, right? We're just there. You know, these culture wars are essentially over. And people say, well, we got all this coming out. We got Lord of the Rings and, they've got a ton of stuff. Got a ton of woke shit coming out, right? Yes, I agree. We have a ton of woke shit coming out. But do we have a ton of woke shit being made? That's the question. And we have we've seen a dramatic decline, right? A dramatic, an immediate cessation. I mean, just look at Netflix. Well, we've seen like a really, I mean, I think Star Trek, right? The Strange New World not being woke. It's it's amazing to me. It really, I say not being woke. The scripts aren't woke, right? The scripts aren't woke, and I'm very optimistic about Russell Davies' new Doctor Who. That it's like it won't be any more woke than normal, right? Any more woke than what he normally is, right? Anyway, let me say, I laboured long and hard to get you a sexy, appealing, happy picture of Nurse Chapel, right? I could only find her scowling. Okay, that's the first thing, and that's what I think. Okay, the boobage I had to put in, right? I'm like, yeah. Here's the thing. She won Australia's next hot model or something, and I can't find a picture of her. Here, let me pull up some in. Let me find her name. We'll go Nurse Chapel actress. Nurse Chapel. What's her name? Actress. And I know it's Michelle Barrett. Yes, not that one. The other one. The new one. The hot one. I mean, look, Michelle Barrett was pretty hot in a day. Don't get me wrong. Jess Bush. Her last name is Bush. Is just ridiculous. Jess Bush. Actress, I guess. There we go. So, let me show you the problem. We will share screen. Where is it? Fine. This is a Google image search. And you see, there's lots of here. You see that she's very pretty, right? There's lots of images of her looking pretty, right? Very few of her looking hot, right? And like nothing revealing, for goodness sake. Like nothing sexy, which was, I mean, like the sexiest one she had was this one, which was, yeah, look, you're a very pretty woman who, former Australia's next top model, right? Next top model contestant, right? I mean, you're a model, right? It's okay to be attractive. Goodness sake. Oh my god. Anyway, so finding her looking she's always looking dour. It's always a bit of a scat, and she's kind of a fun character. That's the thing I like about her, right? I mean, she does have that like crazy chick vibe going on. That like you know, she's just like, do you want to try this? I'm like, well, not really, but I'll give that a go. Like, I get the feeling she will lead me astray, and I like that. Anyway, so I had to put the boobage in. What can I tell you? I worked long and hard for you, but I also had to work finding a picture of Pike smirking. So that was also Frankenstein. It was a head. I put on like a different face up on him. Oh, that coffee is good. Oh man, I need that. No, really, I'm the first doctor. Well, I covered that a little bit in a video that's coming out tomorrow, like a news video. But who gives a I mean, like, for God's sake. No, the article is so ridiculous. It's beyond words. It's just, but like, it's a comic. It's not. It's like what you're going to tell me. John and Gillian's now fucking canon that we can't go back on. Freaking retards. Okay, this is why. This is, that's no denigration to anybody who has general retardation, right? They're normally smarter than these people. Oh my god. Yeah, you know what? I can understand it. The genuinely retarded being upset at the phrase retard because I'm really referring to SJWs. Yeah, I don't be associated with them. They're idiots. I know. I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize for associating retarded people in a negative light to social justice warriors. I apologize. I didn't mean to. It was a million intimation. Anyway, I digress. No, really, I am the first. No, you're not. Shut up. It's the stupidest thing ever. And they're like, it's gone. Okay, Joe Desir is over and forgotten already, and it's not finished yet. I mean, here, what's the cut from Doctor Who magazine? Let me pull that up. By the way, I do like I'm genuinely liking Strange New Worlds. Okay, it's like it's not great, right? I mean, I loved Severance. That was great. That was freaking awesome. But that I got a review of that coming out tomorrow. If you haven't seen it, it is so insanely worth the $4.99 for Apple TV for the month. It's so insanely worth it. It was. I mean, it's one of the best things I've ever seen. Right. So here, where is this thing? Let me find it. There we go. Doink. Stop screen. Share screen. Indestructible. Doink. There you go. So, wonder when they go to press with this. It must have been a stop press because they couldn't have gone to press before, it was announced. And these covers are normally in the bag for a long time, right? So there's a few things that strike me of interest. I doubt that's going to be his costume. Oh God, I hope it isn't. It's a bit camp if it is. It's a bit like the nipples on the back costume. But you know what? Listen, I have a lot of faith in Tim Davis and Russell, mate. Do not let me down. I mean, really, but I think I got a lot of logical reason to have faith in him, right? I'm like, he hasn't done a duffer yet. I mean, yes, he's politically weird. We agree. Yes, I understand that. I do see that, right? His ideology is that he believes it. He's drunk from the Kool-Aid. I agree. I hear that, but he still makes good stuff. So I don't want to tell you, right? And I think he's got such an incredibly strong understanding of Doctor Who. Like, that thing I've always loved about him and Moffat, when they talk about Doctor Who, they understand it, man, to a level deeper than me. And their insights are really I love them talking about Doctor Who. It really is fascinating, right? I love that Russell, for example, when they were making the Daleks, he made them like an inch wider, right? Because he wanted to be with. I'm trying to think if I can get the models, the action figures. But yeah, I mean, listen, I'll point them out later. But if you compare the two models, right, there's that little chunkiness they added in, freaking awesome, right? And it's such an understanding of the nature of what a Dalek is. So that, I mean, like, he knows his stuff, mate. Is he woke as hell? Of course he is. Yes, we know that. Now, yeah, I mean, I have no idea how Shooter's going to play the character. I assume it's not going to be a feat. This is sort of what somebody said in the comments, right? I assume it's not going to be like, camp. Why do I assume that? Even though that every rational bone in my body will go, well, that's obviously going to happen. You know, like when Robert Pattinson was cast as Batman, and you go, well, that's going to look stupid, and it did. You know, that's your first instinct when you see Shooting. I mean, let's be honest. He's not a big bloke. Like, you know, Tom Baker's a big bloke. John Pertwee was a big bloke. You know, Colin Baker, a big bloke. Eccleston, Tennant, slightly less so, right? But I mean, yeah, look, yeah, Sylvester McCoy, yeah, Patrick Troughton, but you know, like he said, he blew it out the water in the interview, in the audition. Why would I think? Why would you lie about that, right? But give the tab out of shirts to the Soda Rangers. I think you're right. Okay. But there's a few things I want to point out to you about this cover, right? Firstly, and mostly importantly, I put out a feeler to Russ Leach, friend of the channel. Russ Leach, artist on Doctor Who magazine now. He's worked on the Curse of Jodie, but you know, a man's got to earn a living. And now he's got his foot in the door where it looks like if you look in the top right hand corner, it's it looks like that's going to be a Peter Cushing comic strip, right? That's what it looks like to me. Do you think they're doing a Peter Cushing comic strip for the next few months so they don't have to deal with Jodie, right? And people will read it more happily. Do you think? I think it's possible, right? Took a hell of a lot of planning. Rusty Davis on the secret operation to launch the new Doctor Who. I bet he wrote that up since it happened. Right? I bet that, oh, don't worry. I'll do your page or two. You know, it's like, no, don't worry. So Jodie's still the Doctor. I don't want to step on her toes. But here, let me do some massive hardcore Doctor Who magazine stuff. I mean, listen. He has said nothing but complimentary things about Jodie and Chibnall, and then he has done nothing else but shit on them in his every action. So you decide what's going on. I don't know. And then it's the season 22 box set. Can't freaking wait! Oh man, I can't wait. This guy's got 3 Matthew Sweet interviews. Oh, yeah, it's got a Nicola Bright interview. I'm there just for that. I mean, quite frankly. And tell me more about your life, Nicola. No, when you get comfy, when you get in pajamas, or no, maybe kind of like a something a little bit more, easier on you, something more silky, maybe. I don't know. Just relax, right? Put some heels on. I saw somebody cosplaying as Perry today on the Twit-Twats. What? I just was on my timeline. And here's how obsessed I am with Perry, okay? And this is the absolute honest truth. I noticed on my phone, okay, so we're talking about a teeny tiny thing. I noticed on my phone, as I scroll by the young lady's avatar, and just like the color, and it's just out of my eyes, like, Perry sign? And I was like, I clicked on it, and yes, she does very well cosplay as Turquoise Perry. I thought it was very nice. Anyway, see, so you got that. You got a Michael Grade interview. Oh my god, I can't wait to hear it from his side of you. Oh, it makes complete sense. I mean, look, Rusty Davis went out with him, didn't he? And then they had lunch. And he said, yeah, I think I interviewed him for Doctor Who magazine or something. See, that's how awesome Rusty Davies is. He did stuff like that all the freaking time. Like, remember when he did an interview with Verity Lambert, right? He just hasn't led us astray before. I know what's the name is trans. It's just the weird fucking world we live in, mate. I don't know what to tell you. Do I think it's fucked up that this is the world we live in? Yes, I think we live in a weird clown world. Yes, I believe that, right? I believe up is down and black is white. What do you want me to do with it? That's still a fucking world. I don't know what to say. You know, that's where we are. Now, will it be woke? I have no idea. I hope not. I mean, I hope it's no more woke than 2005. 2005 was pretty bloody woke. So I do not know. I do not know. Fine. Let me get to that. Ruth Madeley, Six's new psychic. So here I got a quandary, right? Somebody has sent me a bootleg copy of that box set. I'm like, oh. Like I'm thinking, am I gonna? Here's my thinking, right? I got that, and I got the what's it called again? The Companion Chronicles set to listen to still. Just finished War Doctor. Listen, I'm committed to that series. It's got one duffer, and two. What's the second? Second one's awesome beyond awesome, and the third one's pretty darn good. But yeah, listen, I'm on board for that series. I'm into a second series. Just keep pumping those out. I'll keep buying them. Right. This quality has been passable. Right. This is totally fine. Anyway, what else? So I was going to say I was going to get to the wow. What was it? How's I got to the water? Oh yes, I got that. So I got that the Ruth Madeley thing and Companion Chronicles, which that one I bought. So I'm like, so here's my thinking with it though. Like, I've been burnt by them so many bloody times. Oh God, it's been woke as hell, right? And I decided not to buy this one. I'm thinking, should I listen to? Okay, here's my thing: should I listen to it to review it with an ear that if I like it, I'll pay for it, right? And I think, I don't know. I don't know. I've also got that chameleon story that Dominic, what's his name? Wrote Don Martin. Don Martin wrote to listen to. Plus, I got a bunch of stuff from Audible because I finally closed my Audible account. I got a bunch of there's a War of the Worlds adaptation with Jeff Wayne stuff built into it, which I thought was quite cool. I've always been amazed there's never been a Jeff Wayne movie War of the World. I mean, like no, there hasn't been. I've seen the what's it called again? Music video. But I've always been surprised there was never like why that should have been that's definitely going to make money, isn't it? Anyway, what can I tell you? I tell you what. Look, listen, I hate to. I hate to be overly cis here, but I think we're going to go back to a bit of heterosexuality now for a bit. So look, it's my channel. What do you want out of me? You still got to answer them out. Leave me alone. Fine. No, really, I am the first dog. That's so stupid. So wait, what? Somebody I got a reply to it on Twitter. Somebody said, he sees it being Rusty Davies, Doctor Who Red Pill. The world is genuinely excited about Doctor Who. Well, the full headline was, and I just couldn't fit it in. The world, I can't remember now. It was like 4 lines. It was like unlike for the first time in 5 years, the world is genuinely excited about Doctor Who, and it sees a difference. Right? It's like the difference between Spider-Man: No Way Home, which everybody loved, and it was a genuine thing, and nobody had to tell us that it was good, and everything else, like Captain Marvel, that to scream at us said it was the best as ever. Right? Star Trek's going everything. No, if it was good, we would know it's good. Right? It's not complicated. But much like I think Star Trek Strange New Worlds, it's going to take a good season before anybody trusts it, right? But I don't think it's going woke. I don't. It seems to be not woke. I mean, okay. there are too many female characters. One of which is an annoying lesbian, whose character is to be an annoying, smirking lesbian. That's basically her character description. We're looking at somebody Latinx to fill the role of an annoying, smirking lesbian. Please be prepared to shave the size of your head. Tell you what, if I was black, or if I just wasn't white, right, and I was a woman, I'll be shaving the size of my head and running to Hollywood. I will get endless work. Endless work. And then I'll be trans, so that way I can still be a guy, right? And I can sleep with women. Perfect. Oh my god. That I've just invented the perfect life, right? And I'll be super successful. Then we get to the chat. On that grand plan. Darren M, how you doing? Thank you, sir. Greetings for listening. Thank you for joining us. PD Rich is here. Wow, you are bright and early. How are you, PD Rich? How are you, sir? Mr. Jekyll, and that wasn't a diss, by the way. That was me just saying hello. Sorry, I just ran. That could have sounded very dickish. It wasn't meant the way. Mr. Jekyll and Hyde is there. How you doing? And Crippling the Blue. How you doing? So, hi, sir. I do hope, by the way, we are seeing a Peter Cushing comic strip for the next few months in Doctor Who magazine. Finally, I have something to bloody read then in it. It'll be awesome, and I'll be chuffed as anything for Russ because I know he loves drawing that, right? I know that's exactly. I mean, honestly, you see, he is really in that nice 70s era Marvel chunky post Steve Ditko crackle, Kirby crack. It is awesome, right? That is his. If they're doing that, he's going to be awesome at it, right? Absolutely awesome, and so I'm really excited to see it. Because he's got that nice Sixers vibe, right? I think he's going to make. I think, honestly, if they are doing a 60s Peter Cushing style strip, that could really be the sweet spot for him to get a lot of work, which would be lovely. And good for him. Good for him is all I can say. And so say all of us. Stanley started across the line for me in the first episode. I went to the second Civil War. Well, actually, you know what? I was surprised with that because it was saying it wasn't a condemnation, right? That's the thing. It wasn't. It was like it was surprisingly. That's the thing that blew my mind, actually. Right? It was surprisingly apologetic for the generously. It's like the people who felt they weren't being. He spoke it out as if they had a genuine grievance, right? A genuine and legitimate grievance, which really amazed me, right? I brushed off at first. I figured, they just screwed up, right? But now we're 3 episodes in, and it is a bit on autopilot, right? It's a bit sleepy. It's not. It hasn't found its own identity yet, but it's not shit. Right, it's not shit, and I have known people who have field tested this. If you get super high, it's quite a pleasant way to spend an hour. Is all I can say. I mean, the visuals are gorgeous. I mean, I judged it against fan films, right? I love watching the fan films. I miss the fan films. I wish they would come back, right? But Kurtzman got rid of them because he's a dick. So I judge it against a fan film, and I find it. If this was a fan film, I'd love it, right? So I can't. If I would like it as a fan film, I like it as this. Plus, there's got Nurse Chapel in it. It's hot. Plus, Uhura is kind of hot, and here's what I think is going to happen: when we get to season 3. There's going to be, we're watching the pendulum swing in history right now, right? It's like, it's about to go, mate. It really is. We are at that fulcrum. It's really about to go. It might be 6 months, but it's really about to swing. And the whole, being cis is a good thing, and embracing one's heterosexuality will be a thing by 2024. Okay, will certainly be a thing, right? And it'll be okay to be sexy, right? And I think, much like what was it, season 19 of Doctor Who, Nissa and Tegan were covered from head to toe, right? Because they didn't want any hanky-panky in the TARDIS. And then they realized there was no real sexual friction anyway. And boom, all the clothes came off, right? That's when the boob tube came out, right? I'm very good for that. So yeah, I think we're going to see the same thing. It's got what to work on. I mean, they got to get rid of the chick. They're not going to. They got to get rid of the security chief. And they deal with her story, and there's nothing I like about her at all. Right? Just get rid of her. And also the smirking lesbian. Right? Other than that, it's fine. Plus the guy linked me up to. Plus the guy linked me up to one of Mr. TARDIS videos, so I don't know who we're talking about. Oh, now I've got to go back. More woke shit bomb to lose money. What are we talking about? There's going to be a lot more woke shit bomb. That was going to. Lord of the Rings is going to be an embarrassment. Oh my god! Look, that new Game of Thrones. It took me about 30 seconds in the trailer before I wanted to vomit in my own mouth, and it's got Matt Smith in it, right? Oh, look at them legs. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, she is hot as anything. I'm in, but not in the chat, except that bit and that. Well, yeah, one can only agree with you, Mark the Vicar. What else is going? Who else is here? Crippling the Balloon. I said hello to you, haven't I? I think I said hello to you, but I'll say hello to you anyway. Because you know what? You can't say hello to Crippling the Balloon enough. That's what I say. Rob Div, how you doing, sir? Doom said that Rossi Davis didn't have final say. I know. Listen, I love Doomcock. I love Doomcock to bits. It's not a rumor I believe in any way, shape, or form. Right? It's like not at all. And BBC falls into Pick Shooty. I mean, to be Toby Stevens. First line in show to gonna be I'm finding a ginger. Complete nonsense. We do agree. I mean, it's like he really wouldn't even be my first choice as a Doctor. He'll be he's okay. He was good in Black Sails. He was mediocre in Lost in Space. All right, and I stopped watching Lost in Space in the third season. I couldn't maintain being caring. If they did a TV project of Bond, I think it'll be a good TV Bond. Not sure he's got the presence for a big screen Bond, right? He was great in Black Sails, though, like really good in Black Sails. But he's very much a supporting actor to me, right? Funny enough, I would say the same thing about Damian Lewis, and he's a fantastic actor. You know, it's not a bad thing being a supporting character actor. Oh, he's not really a character, Damian Lewis. I've only seen Damian Lewis be Damian Lewis, except in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood when he was, what's his name? Steve McQueen. He was brilliant as Steve McQueen. Perfect casting. Moons of Madness, how you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us. How are things going? No, I couldn't believe both Rossley Davis and BBC wants you. I don't think BBC have a say. Nobody cares what the BBC has to say. No, BBC doesn't have a say. I think Rossley Davis wanted to shoot. Rossley Davis got Susie. What happened with Matthew McConaughey? X-Men. Oh, just oh man, it really jumped. Come back. Wow. Can't fight. Yeah, I just saw X-Men 577, but I can't remember the number. But that's what I can't find it now. Well, I saw you were here, so if you're still here, hello, sir. It does make total sense. I really think he just nailed it in the audition. Right? I really genuinely think it's that. Right? I just maybe not blindly optimistic, right? I think look. The reason why it's good to be attractive is because people treat you better, because people are better, are more well disposed to you. Just because you are more, just because you're more attractive, right? People are nicer to you, right? So it's the same sort of thing now with being black and being gay, right? You get it's not, I don't say a bigotry, but you do get like, oh, he's a black gay man. Yeah, okay, that doesn't hurt, right? That certainly helps get him in the door, right? Black gay man, actor, right age, right shape. Okay, it's fine, okay. But then, once he's in the door, they got. Here's the thing: Russell Davies is a guy like, yeah, he ticks all the boxes, but once they get in the door, they got to bring it, right? I've never seen him not do that, right? And even in this thing that was the most lefty insane, which was years and years, it was good. It was still good, right? It was good. Oh, somebody should Photoshop a frilly shirt onto him. Oh, that is funny. Yeah, let's have a look at that for a second. Hang on. Share screen. We'll go back to oh man. Yes. I gotta do that. I gotta somebody's gotta Photoshop I will do that. Fine. That's my job. I'm gonna Photoshop a frilly Pertwee shirt onto that very picture. It will fit perfectly. Right? It will fit absolutely perfectly. That is going to happen. I get 3 red balloons from Mr. Jekyll and Hyde. I do not know what that means. X577. Now I have found you. How are you, sir? Right, Rabbi. Watch what he does. Not what he says exactly. I mean, listen, he does. He literally, relentlessly took a shit over Jodie. Right? I'm telling you, like, how much more can you do that? No, I'm done. Okay, here's the new thing. Well, we're gonna be super, super quiet now. Super quiet. No one's gonna say anything. Nobody. Okay, shh. Stop. Interview. Okay, now, Joe does doctor. Day goes by. David Tennant, Catherine. And then everybody's like, and he's like, and Yasmin Finney. And everyone's like, what? It was too much. I think people's minds just melted, right? And then he saw the pictures and his Wilf, and it was too good to be true. Right, I think the rollout of Yasmin Finney was smart as anything. Oh my God, did they nail that to absolute maximum effect? Right, rolled it out after David and Catherine. Right, Sweet Day says, TC, how you doing? Sweet Day senses tingling, I see. Yes, they rolled out for David Tennant and Catherine. Think about it, was like, yay! And then, right in the shadow of that, Yasmin, and it's a huge moment, and it's a great way of placating people like me, smart as anything, right? Even on the intelligence on how to manage me, I appreciate that, and I will be more compliant, right? Because you have thought about it and you've dealt with it in a sensitive way, right? And yeah, I think it's because of that I'm much more prepared to give it a go. It was smart, absolutely smart. Apparently, I haven't mentioned what number Doctor is. First time since Eccleston. Well, no, they're very much like he is the new Doctor. Right? Is he 14? I think we're going to like a maelstrom of doctors for the 60th. There we go. Darren Bradley's, how you doing? Like putting about it, I hope Scooty gets some more Boffin with it as the series going. I love that Capaldi did that, right? That was so smart. All right, I love that it was in his performance. Yeah, that was really, 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 really clever. Fine, I'm whizzing through. If I start watching Star Trek, unlikely because it seems a bit intimidating to me. Should I watch only Next Generation? Oh man, that is that's a good question. But since that seems actually decent, listen. Deep Space Nine is always the best, right? I'm sorry to tell you. Here's what I would suggest. Right, here's what I would suggest. Start with Star Trek 2, Star Trek 2, Star Trek 3, Star Trek 4. Right. If that sequel sequence of movies gets you, that's essentially that. I think that's a still Star Trek for you in many different ways. Then I would go back. Then I would jump around. Like there's lots of different Star Treks to look at. The thing with Deep Space Nine is they do have. That's the only one with the most continuing continuity. They have a mild continuity in the original series. I mean, not really any continuity in the original series. And then in Next Generation, they have like a mild continuity. There's basically pre-Next Best of Worlds, post Next Best of Best of both worlds, right? You get right. Actually, Next Gen breaks into 3 periods: beginning, middle, and end, essentially. Which seasons 3, 4, and 5, I think, really being pinnacles. 6 is pretty good too. But yeah, start at 2, 3, and 4, right? There, then I would jump around. See, ask what you're in the mood for, right? Straight pride. Somebody actually was saying that in the comments. So he says, look, the thing is this: there's just no characters on TV anymore who are just straight white men, right? And there are no new characters that I can think of. And I understand that, right? It just seems that it's a little bit much, right? But I think it's all about rebalance. Again, Spider-Man: No Way Home changed everything, right? And we're getting to see the. I mean, there's also Doctor Who, right? I mean, honestly, people in the industry who said everything is the best this era, it's going fantastic. They knew a good year ago. The jig is up, right? I mean, that they made this as they try to be as normal as they could with this. With Stranger Worlds was surprising. Look, the question with Picard is: was it woke or was it just terribly written? Right? And I think the answer is both. Right? I think the answer is both. It was terribly written by woke people. Right? I look, just watch that, PD. Just watch that 5 minutes. But listen, mate, if you're going to watch anything, watch Severance. That's so good, right? That is off the charts, incredible, right? That is Prisoner good. That's it's Prisoner good. That's how good it is. Prisoner good. That's I didn't think of that. Next Gen did take the first couple of seasons. Next Gen were definitely a bit ropey. That is true. Okay, well, it just jumped. Let me catch up. Fine. I laugh in the face of Susan Wacker. I don't know what that means, but okay. Colin Arch, I think I said hello to you. How are you doing? Liam Nilsson the Chin here. How are you doing? I will find you and I will kill you. I do love that about yeah. If ever I ever get Liam Nilsson on the channel, I will get him to say that. Just somehow, I don't know how. DW, wait, how you doing? Well, everything has to be blackwashed. It's kind of, I hate to say it, but you're not 100% off. Here, look, we'll go back to normal cis heterosexuality. But okay, back there again. I'm sorry. We alternate between the two. There you go. Again, I had to label long and hard to get a sexy picture of Nurse Chapel, and she's a sexy woman. Dr. Alex is here. Greetings, how you doing? I just saw your thing. I know. Here's what I've worked out. What the issue is, right? My productivity for the last month has been in the freaking toilet. I've been running and I've been standing on stuff. Well, I've had a lot of insane disasters, but other than that, I didn't factor in this series I do every day called Connected to the Infinite. I thought it'd be a 5-minute video a day. It's like a half-hour video. I'm trying to get down to 20 minutes. But it's a major chunk of my life, right? It's a major chunk of my life. And I think that's what's derailing me completely. That's got another 14 days to go. Oh, my God. But I'm also rushing to get content made as well because I'm offline for 2 days for not this Sunday. I'm offline, Sunday. Was it Friday as normal? Not this Friday, Saturday, but also Saturday night and Sunday. I'm offline. I'll still do a live stream, right? It'll actually be good coming off the Jewish holidays and going straight into long stay. By the way, this holiday is the holiday of lactate intolerance. 2 weeks from now, holiday of Shavuot. It's the essentially we commemorate when God appeared at Mount Sinai, right? With the I am the God of your father, all that stuff, right? So how do we celebrate it as Jews? Us lactose intolerant people. How do we celebrate it as Jews? We eat dairy food, right? Because in Judaism, you're not allowed to mix meat and milk. Very sad, because mixing meat and milk is awesome. Like, so we don't get cheeseburgers, for example. So the go-to thing with Shavuot is cheesecake, and normally one stays up all night studying. What I do is they do the prayer service at the earliest time possible. What I do is cheat. I just get up at like 4 a.m. and go to their prayer service. But when you come home, you make your little kiddush. You're always good. You have a little bite to eat, little kiddush, and you need some wine, and you need a little cookie or something. Normally we have cheesecake, so that's the cheesecake's the thing, and then you go back to bed. It's quite pleasant, really. It's quite pleasant. But then for the main meal, it's a dairy meal. So we're discussing what we're having. I think arancini is one of the things on it. Arancini is fantastic. These are like gooey balls of rice, like risotto, balls of risotto with some mozzarella cheese in the middle and breaded and fried. Freaking awesome. Oh my god. That shouldn't get me sexually aroused, but it does. So that's coming up. Audemars, how you doing? Horrible cover. What does that look? He doesn't look like he's excited. Oh, he's so excited. As I see the other doctors on the cover, he's very excited, right? Who signed off on that? Really? Wow. Standard. It's not that bad, dude. It's not that bad. I disagree. It's like, that's the picture they took that's going around. It's from the BAFTAs. It's what he wore at the BAFTAs. Listen, we live in a messed up clown world. You just get railing against it's not going to stop it. It is here, right? We live in a messed up clown world where things like that are normal, right? Well, I don't know what to tell you, mate. Comments turned off. I hope not. No. I do like comments on. Comments are important, mate. Everybody should have a say. I hope the new era Doctor Who doesn't turn into modern day show overt sexuality. Yeah, exactly. I don't think it will. Right? I don't think it will. I just think he knows Doctor Who too well. Right? And everything we've seen so far indicates that he does know Doctor Who. Missy was a trans hero, says Dr. Alex, causing trouble, right? I mean, I guess kind of, yeah. But you know what? You forget. Capaldi's doctor couldn't recognize Missy because she gender swapped. That's why she gender swapped. So he would disguise herself. Go, surprise, right? It was only a few years ago. But, I tell you, they can't get in the way of a good piece of agenda. Milker says TC. Your main meal is dairy milk, explains a bit. Yes, as I said, we're all very lactate intolerant. Lots of farting. 1 year. My wife made fresh pasta. That was really good. Tell you, fresh pasta, not even the same universe as regular pasta. Fresh pasta is the way to go. Fine, we've caught up with the chat. Let me look at my show notes, list of things to do. So far, I'm using Chrome instead of Firefox, and it hasn't blown up yet, so I'm quite happy about that. Oh, that's a good place to start. That is a good place to start. Let's look over there. Let's look at this thing. It's not often you say the Metro is a good place to start, but this time, that indeed has happened. She's so hot. I'm sorry. I went to the page where we did the Google's the image. She is super hot. Here, let me just pull this picture. 1 sec. One. And I like the Doctor as well. By the way, I like the very black Doctor. Right? He plays himself super. I mean, like he's Kenyan or something. He's not African American. He's African Doctor, right? That Doctor. I do quite like him. Where is it? On desktop. Think. Open it up in your own time. No rush or hurry. There you go. I mean, yes. Oh, look, an attractive woman. I'm on board. Yes. And I like this character. He's an interesting. I like the whole take on it, right? I'm on board, right? So far, I'm on board. And look, it's an attractive character. Yes, it's okay. Fine. If she wants to be a lesbian, I'm cool with it. Just let me see. Monks and Magnies, how you doing? I got rid of Chrome as there was too many things running in the background, even when I was not on the internet. I normally don't use Chrome, right? But I think Firefox kept crashing. Automaris mentions the Toby Stevens rumor. Generally speaking, we think it's bollocks, right? Generally speaking, we think it's a bit of bollocks, right? That's basically where I am with that. I do think it's a bit of bollocks. Is that thing open up with? I didn't even go to the page I was going to yet. I got transfixed by Jess Bush. I'm sorry, and I love that her name is Bush because that's always a fun reference to vaginas are always fine, right? On the Norm Macdonald show, they had this woman was played by something Cox. I can't remember. They had this old time guy. Who was it? He said, "Oh yeah, my name's Jeb Pussy." It was fun times I had there. Oh man, that Norm special is going to be out soon. There's a lot of stuff that's out soon, which is quite exciting. Next couple of weeks is quite a few. Do I have them written down? The things that are coming out. Yeah, we got Stranger Things. Obi-Wan Kenobi. I've decided I'm going to do the full recap, like I do with Star Trek. I'm not sure I'm going to carry on with Stranger World because I like it. Right, I'm not looking to take the piss. I quite like it. I might do it for this season so people can feel at ease with it. Then Midwich Cuckoos comes out the week after, which I'm looking forward to. That's always going to be fun. Orville season 3, June 2nd. Miss Marvel, I'm almost certainly doing reviews of those and take the piss. And The Boys season 3, June 3rd. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of it about. Biggest 60th anniversary theory says David Tennant and Catherine Tate return. Fine. After it's announced that Doctor Who legends David Tennant and Catherine Tate are returning for the sci-fi returning for that 60th anniversary of sci-fi. Theories about how this. I love this as a Metro, right? Right. I love this as a Metro of all things. Theories about how they are going to continue having have been flying left and right. It's not exactly going to be as simple as prepared for return. After David Tennant's 10th Doctor, the Time Lord regenerated into Matt Smith's incarnation, and then various more times. Meanwhile, Catherine Donna Noble was forced to have her memories of the Doctor and the TARDIS wiped. As far as we know, if they ever return, they will overpower consciousness and she'll be killed, right? And she's not, because we've seen her with the TARDIS with the Doctor, and she's not dead. Aside from all that, Yasmin Finn has been cast as the character named Rose, presumably calling back to Billie Piper's Rose Tyler. Yeah, look, no offense, mate. It just feels like I'm looking at somebody not happy and not well when I receive pictures like this, right? Maybe you are. It just looks to me like you're not. That's the vibe I get. I'm sorry. It doesn't look like. I mean, it looks like you're doing what you want to do. I don't think it's giving you what you want, right? I don't think you want what it's giving you. The possibilities are pretty endless with Doctor Who, with the returning showrunner Russell Davies hinting that a few ways the story could continue. But you can always trust Doctor Who fans to come up with some epic theories. So here are some. Here are some winning ones. Yasmin Finney is Donna's daughter. That's not. We pretty much know that, and thank God she looks better in the pictures I've seen. Right. Yasmin, like it's so disturbing. I'd rather have Jodie Whittaker on screen, and I always find that very disturbing. Yasmin's Rose, being Donna's daughter, is one of the most realistic and credible of the theories so far. While some have speculated that Rose, we already know and love, may return to the show and figure out how she can regenerate, leading away to Yasmin to take over the role. No. We can't imagine the role being recast from Billy. No one's seriously saying that Billy Piper's going to regenerate into Yasmin. No, that's not a real theory. Behave. Oh, Matthew Burrows is here. How you doing, sir? Donna and Rose met in the iconic series 4 arc, which saw plenty of characters return while the characters' memories were totally wiped. It seemed reasonable that she remember the name was important, even though she didn't remember why. The Noble family has always played a big part in Doctor Who, and it's been speculated that Bernard Cribbin and Daphne Hill are returning as Wolf. They are. No, it's not speculated. They were filmed on pictures on set. They were there, right? They're there. Well, Carl Collins could well be back as Donna's husband, Sean. Wait. That was the husband that from Runaway Bride that they got rid of, right? Like, he was the bad guy, I think. He was very good. He was also the bad guy in EastEnders, wasn't he? Isn't everybody always the bad guy in EastEnders? Like, you know, you take turns. Being. Even Ian Bill was a bad guy once in EastEnders. Blimey. I mean, anyone can be a bad guy, right? Anyone can be a bad guy in EastEnders. I like, what's his name? I can't remember his name. He was like this gangster chappy. It was, I can't remember. Man, EastEnders too long ago. Fine. The Doctor's regeneration is about to go very wrong. Well, it did with this one. It went very wrong. Keith Thorpe. Oh, I'm Doctor Who. No, you're not done it. Oh, Keith Thorpe, I am on Doctor Who. No, you're really not. Oh, Keith Thorpe, I really am Doctor Mr. Who, Mrs. Oh, look, I broke the ceiling. No, you haven't, darling. So where does David come in? One thing a lot of fans agree on is that we're about to see Doctor's regeneration go very wrong as Jodie bows out of the role. Some reckon David is actually about to play the 14th Doctor for a bit before Ncuti Gatwa is introduced as the next Time Lord. It's not unreasonable to suggest that the Doctor would default to an old form while regeneration is being figured out, maybe. Other thing is, I think this is where other Doctors stars can come in with the convinced that Matt Smith's 11th Doctor and Peter Capaldi's 12th Doctor will also return. You could also see the Doctor's consciousness splinter off into different forms. Maybe 13 needs a bit of a previous incarnation to find a 14th form. You know, do you remember when I was like, had my fan wanky, what I would do to save Doctor Who? It's basically exactly this, right? It's exactly this. Remind people why they like Doctor Who, right? Idris Elba is Romana 3. Well, that will make sense. Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time we've had multiple Doctors interacting. I doubt they're going to interact, right? I do doubt they're going to interact. The multiverse is coming, yes. But how do you solve a problem like Donna Noble? It stands that Donna can't come back to a linear story of Doctor Who, but there could very well be a way around that. If Russell doesn't go back to his original storyline, which we couldn't expect to do, Donna could make her return from parallel universe, obviously. Thanks for having a heart shattered by Doomsday at the end of the. We know parallel universe exists. Well, it's very much a thing. It's about to be a big thing. Also, a couple of clues point at the 10th Doctor not being the one. Yeah, obviously. It's all a flashback. No, that'd be silly. Behave. That's stupid. We're not reading this, but this is a funny article. Why it's time to believe Amber Heard. Are you out of your fucking mind, you moron? Really? Why? Where to begin with the online cesspit that is Depp versus Heard? Well, she's a lying cunt. We could bring in with that. That's a good one to begin with. unless you've been living under a rock for the past few weeks. I've known this for years. Like, this has been going for a long time. You know, the ex-spouses are back in court. Johnny Depp is seeking damages of $50 million. I hope you take everything to us. After Amber Heard wrote an op-ed for the Washington Post in 2018, in which she spoke of being a victim of domestic abuse without ever naming Depp. The minutiae being combed through at the trial has come to feel less of a lawsuit and more as a torturous exorcism of the past. What, you mean how we keep pointing out how she lied, right? And though thorough and painful, raking coals of their 4-year entanglement. Okay. Yes, because that's how they're pointing out. So she lied relentlessly. In detail of both Depp and Herb's testimonies are harrowing all by themselves, grueling and violent, containing deeply intimate anecdotes about their relationship. Broadly speaking, witness testimonies can be persuasive, and the two actors in doc can never be sure of the absolute. We can be sure that she's a lying cunt. Really? You can't be sure? I'm reasonably sure. I don't think we can do much more. Let's have a quick look at Bowling in the comics. There's a couple of things I want to look at there. Oh, man. I mean, like... Yep, there we go. Thank God. Let's have a look. Like... Ad-supported version of Disney streaming service will not accept alcohol or political advertising, but you will have relentless social engineering. But here, this is what I want to look at. Oh, this is glorious, right? Sometimes the good Lord gives you a win. Oh, yes. Yes. You see, all these things, DC Comics, Marvel Comics, Disney, Star Wars, they're all waiting to be told time's up. They're all waiting to be told they're out of money. Like, I mean, really, I do get the feeling that Strange New Worlds is a Hail Mary pass. Like, it seems too little too late to me. But, like, who knows? If they can generate some online buzz, they may yet save their ass. Right? And they really need to. Was that a cat? I am jingling around somewhere. Yeah, let's look at this. Netflix animated Meghan Markle gets the royal flush. Okay, close. I really... Why does a hot white chick complain about racism? Hi, I'm a rich hot white chick, and people are racist to me. No, they're not. They want to fuck you. What? No one's racist. No, that never happened. Amidst the free market calling their voice and Netflix going into reform mode, the streaming giant has reportedly cancelled previously unannounced animated series set to be produced by Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex. Oh, I love it. The recent death drop of their stock, courtesy of bleeding subscriber base, resulting in enough woke decisions and regrets to fill Buckingham Palace. Netflix, who wrote this? Netflix has given 7 projects a shot. Who's this? Nerdigans Inc. Well done, Nerdigans Inc. Not even the roles were immune to this massacre, as Markle's upcoming Pearl has found itself amongst Netflix casualties. Bye-bye! According to Deadline, Netflix has quietly dropped Pearl, and the working title of the animated series that was created, the working title of the animated was created by Meghan Markle through her and husband, Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex production studio, Archwell Productions. Pearl was to be the studio's first animated series, the trade news outlet noted. As details of the series originally June 2021 announcement. Oh, what a difference a year makes, darling. What a difference a year makes. Animated outing will go and have adventures of a 12-year-old girl who's been inspired by influential women throughout history. Alongside Merkel, executive producer would have been included David Furnish, who did Rocket Man and Romeo and Juliet, Caroline Sober, I don't know who these people are. Who gives a crap? Further, DC superhero girl producer Amanda Reinhard was set to serve as the executive producer and the series showrunner. I wonder if what's her name, the Acolyte, that series is still going to happen. The boot's coming to Disney, mate. Like many other girls her age, the heroine Pearl follows the journey of self-discovery as she overcomes life's challenges. I have a penis, but I like to be a girl. No challenge, just go to 2022. The Duchess described the series at the time. Hi, I'm a hot, rich white chick, and people are racist to me. Okay. And Martin Productions partnered with the powerhouse platform of Netflix, and these incredible producers will bring you a new animated series which celebrates the extraordinary women throughout history. Oh man, have the mighty have fallen. Oh, David Furnish and I have been eager to bring this special series to light. Really, it's a shame you missed your moment, right? You're a year out, darling. Never mind. I am delighted to announce it today. I'll give Amazon a call. Maybe they want your bullshit. I'm sure Disney will. I mean, honestly, a very shaggable white chick complains about racism towards it. No. Likewise, when it's also asserted, I am delighted we are able to announce this exciting animated series. Okay, are you delighted to announce its closing too? I hope you are. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, who so earned that title, right? So earned that title, and I am deeply passionate about bringing. I mean, honestly, I mean, yeah. What's his name? Edward. When roles are stupid, they are stupid, right? And boy, are they dumb. They would been the Third Reich, wouldn't they? If it was the third is. Oh yes, so fashionable. Passionate about bringing inspirational, positive stories of extraordinary women from around the world to global audiences of all ages. No audience of any age wants to go anywhere near you, darling. No, none of them were interested. The team collaborating on the series are first class, and Netflix are a perfect partner. Only partner, okay? Only people who give a shit. Oh, Oprah, I'm so sad because they were racist to me. Yes, they were so racist to you. No, they weren't. Oh. As per alleged sources, Dayline also points out that prior to getting the chop, Pearl was also only in the development stage. Okay, no problem. I develop away. It's over. However, despite its cancellation, it said insiders that affirm that Netflix still optimistic towards their deal with Ardwell Productions, signed in 2020. The $100 million production, a multi-year deal, gives a production company founded by Markle and Prince Harry the green light to produce scripted series, docu-series, documentaries, features, and children's programming. Like anything they want. Okay. I mean, like, really? I mean, you gave them $100 million. You gave these assholes $100 million, and you're wondering why you went bankrupt. God's sake. If it was the 1700s France, they'll get guillotined by thinking they were going to a fancy party. Yes. Oh, let them eat cake. Let them snort cake. This includes the upcoming documentary Hearts of Invictus, the spotlight of a group of rare Invictus competitors from around the world, members of a military community who have experienced life-changing injuries and illness on their road to the Invictus Games. Okay, that's, I hate to say it, very meritorious. I'm no way goofing on that. Firstly, I'm not goofing it because they can all take me really easily, right? But you glomming on them, oh, piss off, mate. Netflix is really taking a major gamble with the aforementioned Heart Victors. Will be a smash hit, I guess so. Even when the roles falling victim, Netflix thing has, what do you think it means? Oh, more of the same, please, mate. So they actually haven't produced any content. I said they haven't produced any content for the streaming giant. Blimey. What are we looking at next? You know what? Let's look at Star Trek. Doink. Star Trek Strange New Worlds. It's very spoilery. It's very spoilery. Star Trek, Star Trek. It actually is. Okay, fine. So it's made to be watched high. Okay, let's just be frank. Look at this. This opening title. Whoosh, woo, Star Trek. Woo. It's made to be watched high. And as such, not bad. Not bad. Listen. I don't do drugs, kids, but that's clearly that's how it's made to be watched. Right. So we open up there on this planet. Oh yeah. Okay. It's normal Star Trek. It keeps blowing my mind, right? It's very autopilot, right? It's very pedestrian. It hasn't found the stories don't have any character yet, but they are standard Star Trek plots. You know, this essentially Way Team and meets Naked Time. Okay, so they're on this planet. There's this big storm coming. And it looks freaking gorgeous, right? Oh man, it always looks so freaking nice. So they're on this colony, and there are these augment. There's a whole series of augments, whole species of them, called Alorians or something like that. And so this is an interesting look into the augment thing. I hadn't thought about this before, like literal species of them. So this is a colony theirs that went silent, right? So because they're not allowed to have contact with them, they're there very, very sparingly, and now they're there, and no one's there anymore. They're trying to work out where they went to. Now, what I like about this is if you squint, it's got the same silhouette as the classic series, the original series, when they landed on a colony. It kind of has the same look and feel, just on a modern budget, right? Kind of like the outfits as well. So they're looking around and talking a bit, and they say, okay, well, basically they got everything, but they got to get out. They've got to get Spock. Spock's busy, so Pike's going to go off and get Spock. Meanwhile, plot starts over here. Guy looks around with a flashlight. Little does he know the evil that he has just wrought. So looked around, and Pike says, "Go on, we got to go." Nothing there. And you know, again, it's in a different universe. This is Transporter Chief Kyle. I don't really get any beat on the character other than, "Hi, I'm an Asian." Yeah, but they're filling out the characters one by one, right? They're certainly adding in depth as they go. Yeah. So anyway, the Transporter Chief Kyle, who, God, I'd love to have a crossover where he meets the real one. He's trying to beat them up, and they can't come. The storm's a problem, and they're trying. And so there's the chief engineer I quite like as well. Interesting character. He's this arrogant, and he's like, you need more power, and so he taps them. And again, I love this design work. Okay, the design work. I'm such a sucker for it, though. Right, and the lights flicker. And like, what's going on? And they say, okay, you should have your power now. And he brings them on. They bring them on. Okay, so then we got to try and get the Pike and Spock. So Spock's been, and I'm actually warming up to him as Spock as well. Honestly, it needs to. It's developing its own identity, but it really needs to a bit more. So he's looking at these records, trying to work out what's happened to these Alorians, I think they're called, these augment people. And again, if you look at the design work, it kind of has that feel of the architecture of the when they go to colonies in the original series. Fine. So 2 to beam up, but they can't do it. The storm was too much. So they've got to like go and seek shelter, and like everything's falling apart. So it's a bit iffy. This was actually a good little character moment. So suggestion Spock, I suggest run, and still a bit bland, but it's getting a bit. It's trying to fill its way out. Love the titles again. Look at the impulse engine. I'm just such a freaking sucker. Oh, and the NASA. I love these. I mean, really, genuinely. I'm a sucker for this stuff. I really am. As you can tell, obviously, because I'm as big a sucker for it. That's how much of a sucker I am. I'm a sucker for it, right? I just love the design. I love the classic design reiterated in a modern way, right? I really like that. Love the grills. I mean, yes, I really, it's and it hasn't been objectionable, right? So I'm okay with it. Strange, but this again, the theme tune says it all. The theme tune is a bland version of the original Star. It's bland, right? It needs to get a bit of what, but it's episode 3. I'm being a bit of a dick to it. Anyway, so what was it? All right, so Rebecca, was it Rebecca Stamos? She's basically in charge until they can get Pike up. They need to sexy up Uhura, right? And here's the interesting thing: you can see the wokeness stopping, right? And the casting director woke as hell. Everybody has to be a woman, right? Everybody has to be a woman on the bridge, right? Scripts very normal. Anyway, so Lieutenant Lesbian. Hi, I'm a lesbian. Yeah, we know you're lesbian. I like to eat pussy, and I'm a Hispanic, and I smoke. Yeah, I know. Anyway, the ensign from the beginning, he's staring at the light, he's freaking out. Gotta get close to the light, He smashes his head through it, and starts freaking out. Meanwhile, number one also is getting into light. She wants light, and she says, raise illumination 25%, and he does. It gets brighter, and she rips open her tunic to absorb more light. Then she starts to glow red for some reason, and then she's back to normal again. And she's like, "What's going on?" So she goes to the sick bay, take her out. I like the doctor, right? Doctor's working for me, right? Yeah, interesting. And I like the costume as well, right? The uniform really works. It's got the medical feel. It really, it's got the classic Star Trek and medical feel. So for me, I like it a lot. So she's asking around how people are beard, and he's like, well, I'm hearing people like going, there's people like freaking out, wanting light, and he's like, I got to do diagnostic on the like a level 3 diagnostic on the transport to work out why I can't beam up, why they couldn't beam up the captain. And he's like, well, it must be impossible. It's got the fail safes and this and that, but it must be this, and it's like it's a possibility. So fine, he's got to do this like long diagnostic all through the night. Meanwhile, she contacts him saying, "You got to hunker down. We got a contagion released here, you know," and meets the security chief, trying to work out what's going on. Oh, yeah. So here we have a good character moment. She's trying to work out what their research was there. Apparently, this group of Elorians, if that's the name, were trying to reverse engineer their augmentation to make themselves normal again, because augments weren't allowed to join the Federation, right? So they're trying to, but they're also looking at their research to see if they said anything about this disease that's going around, where people are freaking out for light, and if there's any research. So, but the security chief is like, you can't touch that; it's illegal, because her name is Nguyen Sung. So you get a feeling how much she doesn't like augments right there, and they have a bit bit of a fight about it. And then she's like, "Oh, but I wouldn't mind some light. Light." You get a feeling she's starting to freak out. And they check her out. And here's Nurse Chapel. And who cares? Everything's okay again. Everything's fine because Nurse Chapel's here. Tell me more, Nurse Chapel. I even like her costume. I like Nurse Chapel. And it's weird. She's not actually that hot, but I think that having an attractive woman being attractive in a Star Trek show is so freaking rare. I'm just like, oh yes. So they're trying to work out what's going on with it. Meanwhile, they're looking at the storm in the distance, and they see like these weird figures in the distance made of fire in the storm. Right. Meanwhile, Uhura wakes up and opens up her bunk, and it's like super bright there. Her bunkmates, and I kind of like this is the ensigns. They have like she has a little cubby she sleeps in. Like I kind of like that. So that's how it works. So they've got a hollow sun there. They're doing. She's a M program. They're like, they're like, well, we need the light. We need light. And so they got a whole epidemic going on, and they can't work out how it's being transferred. Very standard, right? It's very standard. Basically, it's Naked Time versus meets. What's that one where Sulu was stuck on the surface and he uses his phaser to heat up rocks? That was cool. I love that. Anyway, can't remember. But they can't work out how it's being transferred because there are people like who are in very little contact with each other. Next week they find a ship with a dodgy mushroom drive that took mushroom drive that took the ship to hell. Well, listen, if you're talking about what's his name, Event Horizon with what John Pertwee was on, that would be a bad episode. Anyway, who cares? Nurse Chapel's here. So the doctor, the engineer comes in and he wants to check his his emergency transporter, right? I have to look up Star Trek. I wasn't enthralled with the clip you saw. You're not going to be enthralled, right? You're not going to be enthralled. It's non-offensive, bland Star Trek, but it's not annoying and woke. And if you're super high, don't do drugs, kids. If you're super high, it's quite enjoyable, right? Because the visuals are just right for that. So he wants to check the transporter. And it's at some point problem. Meanwhile, she starts talking to Uhura. And gee, can they try and make her look vaguely feminine sometimes? I mean, really? So he wants to check it. He's like, no, don't check the transporter. And he goes, boo, and the lights go off, and people start freaking out. And he throws them out, and he like breathes a sigh of relief. And something clearly is going on with that, right? Very, very clearly is going on. Meanwhile, he's like, well, what's going on there? They see those things come in, they try and break in, and Spock gets burned. And they're like, well, we better barricade the door then. So these things obviously want to eat us or kill us or burn us alive. Meanwhile, number one is reenacting what Uhura did, and she realizes the sickness is transferred by light. Right at the beginning, you saw the ensign with his flashlight. That's how it got started. So if anybody's in the same light path as it, they can be infected, right? So so essentially, what I can't remember. So what they have the idea they're going to like sedate everybody. They turn off all the lights to say sedate everybody and turn off all the lights to isolate to stop the transfer of the disease and to have a lot and basically starve it to death, right? And while they're doing that, she's checking the research, trying to work out what to do. Meanwhile, she has lockdown's been broken down. Oh yeah, so it's very topical. They do lockdown. Lockdown's been broken down. and she goes to transporter room 1, and she finds that stuff is going down. 1 second. And it's the engineer bloke, right? The engineer bloke. Here, 1 second. He's transferred a bit of the core of a sun, right? He's trying to transfer a part of the core of the sun, which is billions of degrees of heat, and she says there's going to be millions of degrees high. It's going to be billions, and he's trying to like stabilize it. He's using his like he's basically using his scientific genius to destroy them all. So she phases him, and he slumps to the floor. And she puts him back. Then she's able to carry him. They do explain why she is strong, stunning, and brave in a reasonably plausible way. So anyway, so Pike and Spock, a B plot, baby, a B plot, Star Trek. What more do you want? Keep in mind, if this was a fan film, you'll be ecstatic. So he's looking through these are all the records, all these glowy things. These are the records. There's no sign of these. They talked about these things and the disease, but there's no sign of them ever being hostile before. So they're breaking in, and suddenly the glass breaks, and the storm comes in. They're like, they're like, oh, we're in trouble. Boom, and the entities break in. And instead of eating them, they make a protective boundary and save their lives, right? And then they basically like seal up the room and make sure they're okay, and then go away. So she brings what's name in. It's like keep them sedated hard. And he's like, we got to sedate everybody, right? Basically, we're just going to sedate everybody, and then with the lights off, the disease will die, I think. So, there's some kind of character conversation. I can't remember, but I quite liked it, right? Okay, by the end of this episode, I like this doctor, right? Anyway, and she sees what's her name, the security chief came in. And she's woken up. Where I got the slide of that. Where was that? Hang on. Yeah, it's over here somewhere. There you go. Right. It's the security chief wakes up in the background, and while she's talking to what's his name, and then she comes out, and the security chief is gone, and she's slugged out Nurse Chapel. Oh, the bitch! So now she wants to. Her plan is to lower the containment field of the warp core. And by the way, I like how this warp core kind of matches both the original series and Next Gen. It's kind of a nice way of straddling the two. It has a tragic backstory. How novel, that is true. But at least the backstory explains how she's strong, stunning, and brave. So they have a big fight. Oh, boom, bam, boom, bam, and eventually, and she goes, you augment piece of shit. She hates her, and she knows apparently that she knows that she's somehow connected to. Oh, I remember. Wait! It came out already. Fine, I missed this. So she eventually admitted to the doctor. That was that conversation. See, here I'll put it. I'll go back to that conversation when she what's over here 177. When she was talking to the doctor, she doink. She was saying, yeah, listen, I was first infected, but I'm actually an Elorian, which I have the augment that I destroy diseases instantly. So I've had it. You'll be able to synthesize the cure from my blood. It's like, no, I can't do that because your blood is the cure. He has to catch you getting the disease and record how you're cured from it, right? To be able to synthesize a cure. So it's no good. We just got to turn it off, and then we will with any luck be able to. That will stop its transmission. So anyway, fine. So what's the name? She hears that she's an augment. She was part of this, she's Elorian or whatever they're called again. And she's like, you augment scumbag! And you don't know if it's because she's like obsessed with getting light or because that's what she really feels. You get a feeling it's what she really feels. Anyway, as that happens, she gets reinfected and deals with and also cures the disease. So they're able to synthesize a cure from that. Next day, Pike calls up to Enterprise, and they're trying to work out what happens. So, why do you think the fiery people didn't help the Elorians here? Says, well, there are two possibilities, Captain. Again, very good Spocky writing at this point. Either the Elorians did something that made it so the fiery people didn't want to help them, or the Elorians are the fiery people, which was kind of obvious. That's what they are. Again, Star Trek on autopilot, but still not bad, right? It's still kind of fun. So anyway, so he's trying to work out what happened. And then, as they say that, one of these senators comes up, which has basically telling them about who they were. So they're like, we should really be more open-minded in future. So anyway, Doctor wakes up and they said, look, we found a cure, everything's better. Look, the episode's nearly over and everything's better now. And Nurse Chapel is still hot, still super hot. Where'd you go? I'm going the wrong way. But here's Nurse Chapel and she's still super hot. So the security chief and number one have a conversation. The security chief's like, you're an old man. I grew up. My name Newman Stung. Everybody hated me because of it. Basically, it's like growing up with, the chancellor for the Germany in the 1930s. The very naughty National Socialist. I'm sure you know his name. Said, oh, you could have just changed your name. But okay, no, she wanted to keep Newman Stung for some reason. And so she doesn't really like it. So number one goes and she gives her resignation in to Pike. And Pike's like, darling, no one's following the rules on this show. This is early Star Trek. We're not going to tell anybody. We're like, what? No, it's not you. I reject your resignation. Put it back on. We're all friends here together. So next revelation up is she goes to the doctor. And the doctor, he says, listen, it was the reason this went wrong is because of your transporter that you won't let anybody touch. What's going on with it? And he says, it's a big mistake. Problem is, there's something in the buffer that he can't get rid of. And so he can't get his transporter updated. So what's in the buffer? It's his daughter, right? His daughter has this disease, a terminal disease. And he's keeping in the buffer because every time they goes out in space, they meet somebody new. They're going to find somebody who might be have a cure for it. So that it gives them a nice bit of motivation, and you get this nice little coda where he has to like beam her in like once every month or so, and they spend some time again. For episode 3, I'm becoming invested with these characters. Right, I anticipate that by the end of it, I will. And it'd be weird to go woke on episode 4, right? Wouldn't it? I mean, they might do. So anyway, she has a bit of a profound monologue. He reads her a story, and it's very cool. But should we have a look and see if we can find a preview for next week? So we'll go Star Trek Strange New World episode 4. And 1 second. Season 1, episode 4. Let's see if we. This should be some kind of sneak peek. Hang on, let's see if there's images or a synopsis. And I want to be clear. It's not great. It's just not awful. I don't know how to be more clear about this. Well, there's this guy's YouTube channel. What is this? I don't want to put up play somebody else's video. Hang on. No. Now it's opening up this bloody page and it's frozen it because it's doing that. No, don't do that. One second. It's YouTube opening up. Okay, fine. Well, how about this? We'll do Star Trek Changing World episode guide. Okay, that's the plan. Episode guide. Well, that was weird. Episode guide. Doink. What season? Episode was Memento Mori. Do we have a what's it called again? A synopsis? I'm just looking for a synopsis. Why are you making my life hard? Where are we up to? It's on June. It's not till June 2nd. Oh, they're off for a little bit. No. Mary Malta's over here. Episode. IMDb. Okay, Wikipedia. Wikipedia should have the names of the episode. And once you have a name in the episode, we could just go to StarTrek.com. Really? I really didn't think of that. Memento Mori doesn't say it. There's this. Memento Mori. Hang on a second, we'll do that. Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Trek Strange New Worlds. And then let me share the screen as well. Here, one second. Let me share the screen. Doink. Share screen. Oh, yeah, 2 years ago, Genetic was genetically altering people now so they could blend in. In this ever, genetic altering is legal. Yeah, look, it does. Don't expect it to make sense. It's not that type of show, right? It's not the type of show you go, oh yeah, that's totally logical, right? No. Again, it's designed to be watched super high. I want to be really clear about that. I mean, it's really designed to be watched high. Look, once you realize that, it actually becomes quite charming. Oh, yeah, this has got to be able to say, oh God, Ghost of Illyria. Why would you have this picture with this? I'm like, what the hell? Oh, that's not supposed to be number 1. Who could tell? Who could bloody tell? Miami. Shows and movies. Okay, let's go to shows and movies. That'd be logical. So not Discovery. Strange New Worlds. Okay, go. No, we don't. We just seen that one. We just saw it. Do it have updates? Features. Galleries. I should really come here when I'm looking for screen grabs. Let's see this one. I'm no idea of that character, but I do like him. No, this was from episode 2. Leave me alone. Hi, I'm a lesbian. Yeah, we know you're a lesbian. We know. Fine. Okay, I guess we're not going to know. Unless we're not going to know on next week's episode. Why would you keep it a secret? It's so freaking annoying. Why would you keep the episode a secret? It's so dumb. Like, oh, we got an episode, but it's a secret. I mean, it seems weird. It seems weird. Let me look. Like, really? Watch now. No, I don't want to. What? All right, bollocks. Piss off. Now it's just annoying me, right? Now it's just annoying me. Let's have a look at this instead. Doink. There we go. RTD's already made Doctor Who exciting again, not just the casting. This is what I meant about being red pilled, right? This is my raison d'etre. It's because, like, even Screen Rant, right? Even Craig Leavitt Screen Rant. It's saying, oh, this is exciting. I forgot about it. Things being exciting. What? It's so different now. Yes, this is what things like when people are genuinely excited, as opposed to being told to be excited. Fine. If it announced on Russell Davis' second Doctor began, returning showrunner is already making the show exciting again. Why was it boring? Well, because you kept telling me it was the bestest ever, right? Don't you remember that? I remember that. If the BBC hired Russell Davis to make Doctor Who exciting again, the returning showrunner is already earning his money. That's exactly why they did hire him, right? By the way, Morbius was described to me as a spooky makeover of the Incredible Hulk. So, okay. Christian was Doctor Who has strengthened the franchise in more ways than it often gets credit for. How? How did it strengthen the franchise? It destroyed the franchise. What? We strengthened the franchise by making nobody watch it anymore. Well done. Jodie and Joe Martin are both pitch perfect at the Doctor. They were awful. Some Tyrants were taken seriously the first time. No, nobody watched it. The scripts have been championed, have diversity over story more than before. And it's been shit and nobody watched it, you bloody moron. Nevertheless, Doctor Who finds itself at a critical nadir. Yeah, why do you think it could be? Nonsensical plots on an existing payoffs have muddled cribbed Chibnall's narrative, and the era will be remembered for the notorious moment when the Timeless Child, which means largely unexplained with one episode remaining, and the genocidal ending of Doctor Who Flux. Yeah, it's not looking good, is it? All right. So this paragraph says it all. Christian Moore, best as ever, just the best as ever, but it was shit. But the best as ever. The best, but he was shit. Like, completely shit, but the bestest ever. I mean, just the bestest. Okay. Christian Moore's final Doctor Who episode will mark the 13th Doctor regeneration. Bye-bye! Then it's 2005, all over again, as Russell Davis relocates his groove in the Doctor Who hot seat. According to the official press release, RTD will take the helm for the 6th anniversary celebrations in 2023, moving on to a 14th season proper. Right, Whittaker and Chibnall will have one more adventure in them, but announcements for RTD2 are already thicker and fast than they ever were for the Chibnall era, when it was in like mainstream. It was really going. And Doctor Who feels all the more exciting for it. It's very true. Fine, Russell Davis' spell of excitement over Doctor Who isn't just the result of well-received casting announcements, but those confirmed names already haven't heard. The Ncuti Gatwa, Russell Davis' new Doctor, and you know, you got to get like everything is calculated, right? I think the bottom line is that everybody can perform their jobs extremely well, but everything is calculated, right? I do. Audemars Morales, my video tomorrow. I cover that story in depth. It's very funny. But just as it was calculated to roll out David Tennant and Catherine Tate before Yasmin Finney, right, to placate us, it was calculated to roll out Ncuti Gatwa and Yasmin Finney to placate the other side of fandom, the nut jobs in fandom. And good for that, hurrah! Because I would like Rusty Davis to all con us into liking the same thing, right? I would be happy with that. So yeah, this is very box ticky casting, and at the same breath, there's probably very very good casting as well. I think two things can be true at once. So talk to the two hugely exciting young talents. That is true. I mean, listen, is Yasmin Finney going to be the companion? I really hope not. I really hope not, because I just don't see how it's not going to be about the identity, of them being trans. I want it to be about Doctor Who. I think that will distract from it being Doctor Who. But I think, honestly, if Yasmin was going to be the companion, they would have announced it with as much noise as humanly possible, right? Why would they would be trumpeting it from the hilltops, but that's not what they want to do. And I don't think it's about spoilers, right? I think it's about controlling the flow of narrative, right? That to basically to like play all the audience, to play fandom, to play the normie audience, to get them to make this into a very successful Doctor Who. Both showing great promise in sex education at Heartstopper. I do have I have more than one comment said they Yasmin was excellent in Heartstopper, so good for them, respectively. But fresh enough to offer the titles a completely new dynamic. They're not. And again, I don't know why you think that it's the companion, right? But they want to read into it because they're very excited. I think it's more she's a character in the background. It's the injection of modern youth Doctor Who needed. Yeah, that I agree with, right? Actually, I do agree with that with the Yasmin Finney as well, right? It feels very young, and I think that's why a lot of people at my age are a bit uneasy with it. It feels young. It feels very. And honestly, Doctor Who should be cutting edge and contemporary. That's what it's always designed to be. It's designed, and it always was, right? It always was. Peter Rich says it's going to be the 14th companion, not the 15th. 14th, we assume being David Tennant, right? Yeah, yeah. As long as the stories are good, but if it's too young for me, then it's too young for me, and I won't watch it. Right? I'll probably watch it for the channel, right? But if I'm too old, and I should be too old for it, right? I like it being owned by that gives it continuity, right? I like beyond my death, which is something that's quite exciting. But yeah, I want it still to be recognizable that I can watch it and enjoy it, right? But wouldn't it be great if you could have like grandparents, kids, and little kids all watching it together? Wow, that would be really something if they could pull it off. But I do think the injection of youth, genuine. See, the injection of like identity politics by Chibnall was very artificial, was very inorganic. But this feels very organic, right? Yes. Something that Russell T Davies said about that he liked doing about It's a Sin is being with the young cast, and there was that energy from that, right? It really, I like that too. Again, that's me for you. What do you want? I grew up in the 70s, right? So I like rebellion. I've always liked knocking over the cart. I always like the status quo being challenged. Right, so that's my default. It's just the last time they did it, they screwed up massively. Free from expectation or typecast. It's a Jackson Modernithan Doctor Who needed. The newness is tempered by the nostalgic return of David Tennant's 10th Doctor and Donna Noble, Catherine Donna Noble, both fantastic. Between that fantastic form, Doctor Who Future promises the best of both worlds. See, even this guy's saying it. Like, if we all geeking out about the same thing, man, would that be a good? I mean, like, I like that just in terms of the overall good that is for the world. We have two enemies like finding like this common ground, right? Literally common ground. And the really toxic fandom, they're on their way out, right? That's why was it Mr. Trilby needs to scream 100 times louder than he ever did before, right? Because he's the hate motors are going. They're not like, it's just stupid, and the hate motors are going from society as well because it's not fashionable anymore, right? I understand it's still going on, but it's not cool. You're not one of the cool kids anymore, right? I think that's what Jim Carrey said in a rare moment of lucidity when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. Said, we felt like we're elites, but now we see that we're lower than it. It's not cool to be in that world anymore. That's why it's over, man. You don't understand. It's all about fashion. I'm convinced the reason the Italians joined the Germans in World War II was that just because fascism was so incredibly fashionable, right? And the Italians are a fashionable people, let me tell you. Fine. So Rosie new and old castings may be building buzz and momentum, but behind this impending return goes far beyond the actors involved. Speculation is already rife as to whether Shooty Cat was Doctor's regeneration directly after Jodie, while theorists have Yasmin if any pegged as Donna Noble's child. On set, Tennant teased newest costume and Jodie Whittaker's TARDIS. Yeah, the Whittaker's TARDIS is making us all nervous, Russell. Right? We don't want connection. I mean, I don't care if there's no connection and he steps out of Jodie Whittaker's TARDIS. I can live with that, right? And do you know what? That's actually the best compromise. Okay, what? This is really it. This is really the absolute best compromise, right? Jodie Whittaker regenerates at the end of her episode on a mountaintop, whatever, right? And you see it fades out, right? The next time you see it is David Tennant falling out the Jodie Whittaker TARDIS with a different interior, like, well, right? That would give the Jodie fans the ability for continuity, and it would give us the ability to erase it, right? It works for everybody at that point. God, I hope he does that. That's perfect, right? That is perfect. Where we have the ability that everybody could get headcanon fits into what's on TV. That would be freaking perfect. Where is it? Of course, the 13th into the back. Because some speculated the 13th regeneration regenerates back into 10th. Then there's all the little clues dropped by BBC and Russell Davies himself. A totally new style of Doctor Who, playing coy over Gatwa's casting, drumming up intrigue over why there's a new Rose. I love it. It's like the best of JNT. JNT was so good at this stuff, man. JNT was freaking awesome at this, right? Like the Doctor's wife, right? He put it on there, like building up speculation. Oh man, I just wish everybody could have been used to their best abilities back in the 80s. Wouldn't that be wonderful? A new Rose. Doctor Who isn't offering just enough to caught curiosity, but not anyone to actually know what the hell is happening. There's a sprawling, ambitious strategy being woven. Yes, that is true. We only have a scant few glimpses. And again, as we are people on opposite sides that have been opposite sides of the cultural aisle for these past few years, and we're both agreeing. You know what? Let's bygones be. If they'll let it go, I'll let it go. Right? Let's just move forward. Doctor Who has sorely missed this sense of unknown mystery and wide-eyed wonder. Genuine anticipation now hangs over what 2023 may bring, and excitement, right? And excitement. A new Doctor, an old Doctor, a multiverse, 1,000 possible ways of the components can fit together. Chris Chibnall's Doctor Who enjoyed its fair share of speculation. When's it going to end? Leave us alone. We hate it. Yeah, that sort of thing. But always alongside a hefty swing of cynical cynicism and cautious reservation. Yeah, okay, I think you just heard it from me. The timeless child conversation was always warily infused into excitable and eager. Can Doctor Who make this work? No, it can't. Rather, what does Doctor Who have to come up with its sleeve next? That's because you turned it into a conjuring trick rather than an actual storytelling entertainment. You would have to jump in the TARDIS and walk back to the days of 11 Amy Pond to find a time when Doctor Who was so full of optimism and optimistic possibility. Yes, I agree. And storytelling promise as it does it right with Russell Davies returning, taking shape. Yes, I wholeheartedly agree. Absolutely, yeah. And I think that's the again, I'm an optimist. Why? Because it's better. It's better being an optimist. I think the signs are just they're as good as they are bad, right? The idea that Jodie Whittaker fades to black, regenerating, and David Tennant is using her TARDIS, using the TARDIS shell exterior That's fine for everybody. Listen, if they can take the tiniest child, makes sense because of a brief clip in Breda Morbius. They can certainly say, "Oh, look, Jodie was there all along," right? Whereas we can say, who knows what happens? Who cares? Because it wasn't Jodie, and she's gone from your head canon and welcome shooting. But again, the thing I'm looking forward to is let me see if Russ got back to me. Right? Let's see if he got back to me. Not as yet. But the thing I'm looking forward to most is if they're going to be doing Cushing comic strips for the and comic strip is average what four parts. So this will be it'll be June, July, August, September. Then maybe have a farewell Jodie strip for a couple of months, and it's gone. There'll be the logo gone, and we're free of it. Free of it. I mean, tell you, this is where we are right now, right? This is where we are right now. Basically, at the end of World War II, the Germans all ran and left the Jews in those special camps where you would concentrate, but they weren't anybody like actively killing them anymore, right? They weren't people actively killing them. But there's still like the typhoid and the disease, and people were dying left, right, and center. But it was like the Americans that showed up and they were getting them food, and you had an idea. You could see, you knew the Americans were coming, right? The which is essentially the people who liberated the camps. So that's where we are right now, guys. That's where we are right now. The culture war's over, but we're still in it, right? We're still in it. It's that it's not fashionable anymore to be on the other side of the culture war. It's not fashionable. They're the losers now, right? And come November, there's going to be such an incredible red wave in American politics, with all like insanely very Trumpy candidates coming into government who are going to impeach everybody, right? It's over, mate. It's over. That's why probably this monkeypox thing is going to happen, right? If Jodie regenerates, then that makes her means he'll be wearing a bra and panties. Make sure to watch his reaction. Oh God, I hope that doesn't happen. I don't even want to think about it. I don't want to think about it. Fine. I think with that. Joseph Slits, how are you doing, sir? Sorry, I didn't see you there. So I think with that. I think I'm going to find something for dinner. I'm a bit peckish. I was going to try and make the paella today, but I think that's tomorrow. I think the paella's coming tomorrow. Fine. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. Ring the little bell. So you're notified when new videos drop.